who do cold water immersion build less muscle than people who don't do cold water immersion. Everyone's doing it.
Usually I love Lane. I like people who are critical about the studies, but this is when you can use research the wrong way. In this video, Lane talks about two things that he thinks this new study shows about cold water immersion. One, this adds to the research that it lessens our ability to build muscle, and two, it increases our hunger and makes us fat. If we look at the less muscle idea, this came from a study where people were working out and they went right into a cold bath. What that shows us is that right whenever we are working out, we're increasing inflammation, we're increasing hormone response, and if we go immediately into a cold exposure, we actually blunt all of those responses that create inflammation, hormone growth factors, and we calm the inflammation to the point where the body doesn't build muscle. What that shows us is how effective it is at doing those things, one, and guess what? If you did it a couple hours later, you get the same muscle building. Research has shown that for athletes after training, if they did cold water exposure or cryotherapy the evening after their training, they recovered better, they had less inflammation, they had more power and endurance the next day so they could get after it. Moral of the story is, don't do it right after you work out if you're trying to build muscle. Easy. Okay, we're done. Let's talk about this study that he's talking about on here with cold exposure increasing your hunger after. Guess what else does that? Exercise. There's been multiple studies that showed doing strength training, doing aerobic training increases your hunger after. Guess what? We're not telling people like, nope, exercise is going to make you fat. You shouldn't do that. What we are telling people is, hey, if you pair this with a healthy lifestyle, that this can actually make you healthier. And cryotherapy or cold exposure is no different. There are studies that show that over time, paired with a healthy lifestyle, you will increase your brown adipose tissue. When you increase brown adipose tissue, you decrease white adipose tissue. This leads to less inflammation. This leads to less body fat. This leads to a healthier metabolism. Moral of the story is, pay attention to what the research is studying and saying. What can cold exposure actually do? It can decrease inflammation, it can increase recovery, it can increase BDNF, a growth factor for nerves, it can improve our immune function, and it can improve our hormone balance. If you look at those studies, you're like, this is a good thing. Is it everything? No, certainly not. But can it help some things? Definitely. Will it make you fat? No, not unless you overeat after. Does it make you not be able to build muscle? No, not unless you get in right after. Use your research responsibly, folks.